Cheers, it's been coming now. Cheers. What it's going now? Broke. It's how it's breaking down. Show. It's how it's going down. Joan. How the pitch is there. Won't. Wonder if they get out. Cause your brother man's out. And extended here. Pray. That it never comes. Weep. When you're getting so stay. Never go nowhere. Pray. It ain't coming here.
This is a journey into sound.
Who will not ever? The wall with the blueprint attached to my eye. Who will not ever? One torn on town to save a life. Yeah, who will not ever? Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Michael. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It is already Thursday night. Like that. Bang. Thursday night. Like literally Thursday night. It is October 20th, 2022, which is, oh boy, 10202022. 10202022. 10 goes into 20. 20 minus the first 10 is 10 divided by. I can't get shit out of this. Joining me as always, Brother Ray. Brother Ray, I'm stuck on the date. I don't even have enough fingers. You know what I mean? How are you?
I got 7. I got 7 out of all those numbers. 7's a good number, so
that works.
I guess that's a good thing. Hey, nice to hear some SOC at the beginning. That was good.
Yeah. You know what it was? I've been using some of that music for intros, because what I did was I checked with the person that, has the copyrights, or they're just the rights in general to the music. The meeting went like this. Should I use my own music? Go right ahead, Mike. You wrote it. And then bang, boom, right there it is. So, yeah, I'm glad to be using that now. Also, Brother Raymond, we are on 3 different YouTube channels now. We are on Facebook and on a couple pages and on Rumble, which we'll see what happens with that. Right? So, Ray, I was 9-3 this week. That's pretty good for me. I had that Pitt outright game, right? That was like one of the ones I called. It was weird last week. I'm telling you, the spreads were all trickery and like, you know what I mean? Like gossip. That's literally what it felt like, But let us bring in some money to the equation.
Yeah.
And buddy, money there. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, guys. How you doing?
We're doing good, guys. We're doing
See you,
good.
buddy.
Good. I'm drinking a beautiful beer. It's a beautiful day because it's my Friday, and I saw the captain's daughter, and I'm like, it was last week. I'm like, Brother Ray, I beat him so bad in fantasy football, and I get a fall for Brother Ray. So,
yep. So, buddy, I'm glad you said that. Now, before we get into last week's games, we do have a legit fantasy football league, and the rules are being that the team that scores the least amount of points in a week has to apologize. Now, we've come upon a very funny situation because we've gone 3 weeks without an apology. And within those 3 weeks, 2 times the lowest score in the league, which is like saying 2 times the worst coach in the league was Vince Lombardi. 2 times in the last 3 weeks, the lowest score was Brother Ray, who owes a double apology. On top of that, the other apology needs to be given by Coach Kyle, who did not give an apology last time. And we threatened to change his team name, but nobody gave us a team name in the comments. So I have to apologize for him after Brother Ray apologizes. And they're both double apologies in a sense, buddy. Think about it. We're going into week 7, and these two guys made up 4 of the weeks. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But go ahead, Brother Ray, please. Wait, hold on. The floor is all yours. Let me see if I can get you all yours for your apology.
Yeah. You know what? Superman at Kryptonite. It just goes to show you that sometimes things like that happen during a season. You have ups and downs, and I had 2 weeks in a row, guys, when I was down, and I just want to let all of the fan base and season ticket holders for Brother's going to work it out. Let them know that we take this seriously. We're not the Denver Broncos. We're not going to continue to go with the status quo and then and stink it up. We responded this week. We had the second highest total. So we beat Mastradamus, which he's not here tonight, and that might be a reason why. But this will teach everybody a valuable lesson where Brother's going to work it out. We will fire a couple people. We're now going to institute drug testing because we need this. We really need to start doing that, especially the owner. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and win a championship because that's what we do.
Good apology, Brother Ray. Good apology. All right. I will now apologize, Coach Kyle, before we answer Jeb's question. Coach Kyle, let me just do it. If I'm going to do this, I have to do this right, buddy. I'm sorry.
Right.
Coach Kyle, 2 out of the 7 weeks you have had, no, 6. 2 out of the 6 weeks, a third, you have had the lowest score. Twice you've now had the lowest score of the week, and no apology. I am not going to even apologize for you. I'm not going to make up excuses for why you were so bad or did so awful. I'll just say this.
Oh, boy.
Kyle, you will never have this. Never. It's never going to leave me to begin with. But my God, you may never even see this, touch this in person. This is the closest, actually. You know what?
I'm going to take that again.
You shouldn't even look at it.
It's mine.
You should apologize to yourself. Pitiful. Just pitiful. Okay, guys, let's get back into it. Raymond, should I start Kyle Pitts or Taysom Hill?
Yeah, Taysom Hill, hit or miss. You saw what happened. 4 touchdowns 1 week. He had 2 points last week, like in fantasy. I would go with Kyle Pitts. Go with the better player. Taysom Hill's not really a tight end. It's too much of a dice throw.
I could answer this one easily, to be completely honest. Kyle Pitts is still that unicorn. He's just trying to get into this system with Mariota. He's trying to figure out where he fits. He scored a touchdown last week. You would think he's trending up in any way, right, with confidence. So, Jeb, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment and say Kyle Pitts so that we know that you heard what we told you. Here's the thing, guys. The reason I keep hopping on this whole ring the bell shit, leave subscribe, but most importantly, leave a comment. Now, you know how that sounds weird, leave a comment? But that's literally what controls the algorithm to put our shows. Like if you're watching one of our shows, it helps put our other shows in the right-hand column if there's comments on the shows. So even if you're like the show, that's it. You're helping us out. So I'm going to keep repeating it. We'll give advice. We love doing that. That's what we do here. But hit the like, subscribe button. Just leave a comment. And you just say, Buddy is handsome. That's it. That's all I can do. All right. Let us review last week's games. I feel bad that Matt is not here. M1, Mr. did leave. On top of that, Brother Ray, I didn't know if I told you this, but Cousin Jimmy's going to be joining us.
Nice.
Hey,
He's going to fill in the fourth spot. I think Cousin Jimmy had a great performance Sunday. I think
Oh,
he
yeah,
knew what he was talking about, and I think he's going to be good with the three of us to be like.
What did I tell you? I'm like, I got this guy forever, and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Jimmy's a gem. Jimmy's
Moving
a gem.
forward, he'll be doing Sundays and Thursday nights. So
That might be his new nickname, by the way, the Gem. Jimmy the Gem.
yeah, all right. I've been calling him Cousin Jimmy, but if you want, we can switch it to Jimmy the Gem. I have no problem with that one. I like it. As a matter of fact, yeah, I like that one. I do. I like that. All right. Here's the problem, though. Jimmy the Gem was as bad as Mr. Didn't Come because their picks were horrendous last week. They were just bad. At the 8-game mark, Matt was 1-7. Or something like that. I'm probably off, but he was way. And Brother A and myself were actually, Brother A, you were even with Jimmy the Gem, but then all of a sudden you won the 4 o'clocks more, and he did not.
Yeah,
but I went 9-3. I don't know what your record was because you never tell us until you laughed.
Last week, I had 1, 2. Hold on, 3, 4, 5. I only had 5 wins last week, Mike. It was a terrible week in football for me.
Not for me, it wasn't. So let's break this down. Brother Ray, first game. The Bengals went to the Saints to play the Saints, favored by 3.
The BS.
Let's see. The Bengals were taken by myself and Jimmy, and the Saints went with Matt and Ray.
The BS.
Ray, what do you think happened in this game?
Yeah, just it's just atrocious. Like I'm watching the Saints now, and you just got to wonder, like, what that coach leaves, and they're now an absolute train wreck. I mean, Jameis Winston, hurt. He's healthy, not going to play tonight. They're going to start Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle. Kamara looks good, and you got guys like Traquan Smith catching touchdowns, and Juwan Johnson being their number 1 receiver for the whole day. Again. We knew it was gonna be ugly. We knew it was gonna be close. It always ends up that way. I had Cincy. I thought New Orleans would cover because it was just a weird game. But Cincy's I think they're starting to be better.
So, all right, I took it strictly based on the 3, right? That was a funny number, and it ended up being the number that made or break this. It was a 4-point game. Like, it was such a silly spread, but like that's what did it. Ray, half PPR, Waddle, Godwin, Pittman, and Hopkins start 2.
Oh God, I mean Waddle should play. I mean, I know he's been hurt. I'd probably have to look at this with Tua back and say Waddle for 1, and then it would be between Pittman and Hopkins. And let's be honest, I think Hopkins is going to get the ball a lot tonight. I know he's his first game, but I would go Hopkins here.
Yeah, if you're Kyler Murray, right? Who are you throwing it to tonight? Like honestly.
Yeah, Hollywood's out. Hollywood's on IR, so it's going to be Hopkins and a lot of Hopkins.
And Waddle is money in the bank. Let's move on to this really quick. So, Mr. Kyler Murray got himself in trouble because he's on that streaming thing, playing video games, like logging hour after hour after hour.
He's a professional video.
Yeah, so now, Ray, they've found him doing way too many hours at nights, right? So he's getting now into he's going to an
Again,
argument.
or this is the first time?
This is going, it's ongoing. But my son, Junior, who had a good basketball draft, came down and was explaining something to me, and then I did the background work on it, and it's 100% true. Every time Call of Duty had a double points weekend, like where it's double the experience points or whatever you do, Kyler Murray is lost. He's been up all night on these double weekends for this game and another game. And on those weekends, whenever those games have had double experience points, he's lost. Coincidental?
Yeah. Now, you guys remember what they did before they re-signed him. They put a clause in the contract telling him that he needed to do more film work. And the reason they did that was because they knew he was staying up playing video games.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. That's him.
That's
where I worry about him.
Ben Simmons.
Yep. All right.
They paid him millions of dollars and he's playing video games. That's awful.
Buddy, he does not love football. He's a baseball guy. I'm telling you this. He
Yeah,
doesn't
I love
love
baseball too,
football.
but I mean,
No, he
right now
don't,
his
but I'm just
job is
saying.
in football.
Yeah, but all right, Ray. The second game I got the Jags went to the Colts. I'm the only one. This is the one like I was the solo. No, it was me and Jimmy actually that lost. I took the Jags. I can't figure out, I guess, the Colts. Like I don't know what you're seeing in the Colts that I'm not, but they're 3-2-1 now. Ryan seems like he's playing great. I think he set actually a Colts record, which scares me in that game. And they're getting back the best running back in the league. So what am I making of this? The Jaguars are worse than I think, or the Colts? What is this?
The Colts are a talented team on both sides of the ball. Both of their offensive line and defensive line are very talented. You saw Deion Jackson walk in there and put up Jonathan Taylor numbers. And Deion Jackson is not Jonathan Taylor. So they have the talent. They just haven't been able to put it together. And Ryan finally looked like the Matt Ryan that we expected. I mean, he lit it up. He was throwing the ball all over the field. Jacksonville, I mean, it's going to take some time. I think they're a team on the rise, but it's going to take some time. Indianapolis is positioned to win now with that defense and that offensive line and some of the weapons that they have. I mean, Pittman finally put up fantasy numbers, thank God. But no, Indy, that's a team, again, at home, they're tough.
Yeah. You know what? I lost that bet, but it made me feel better about the upcoming game with the Giants and the Jaguars because I was looking at the game. I was watching the Jaguars offensive line, which isn't very good. And the Giants will be getting back last year's 11-sack rookie Azeez Ojulari to add to that mix of mayhem. I mean, that pass rush is going to be crazy on this Sunday. Wink's going to be dialing up stuff that doesn't even make sense. You're going to have like water boys coming off the bench to try to throw tackles on a blitz. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Buddy, the next game I'll bring you to, as I guide you, buddy, will be the Patriots and the Browns, the Browns.
The Browns.
We all lost this one. No one. One of us saw this coming.
That's one of the I don't know. Can you see that? That's one of the teams that I actually picked to win. As I don't know, as good as the Browns have done, as shitty the Patriots have been. Zappe has just seemed to surprise. I don't know. He surprised the hell out of me. He's playing a lot. I think he's playing better than Mac Jones. I think they have a possible quarterback controversy in Foxborough. All
right. So Ray, that's exactly what I didn't want to hear because that's what I feel like everyone's been saying. They're already making this kid Zappe out to be the second coming of Tom Brady. They're literally calling Mac Jones Bledsoe. They're already there, Ray. They already went there mentally, Patriot fans. This kid Zappe, whatever, is not as good as Mac Jones. He's not. This is going to come crashing down. And Ray, your thoughts?
I'm going to enjoy this, being a Dolphins fan, because when Mac Jones starts on Monday night, the first time he throws an incompletion, you're going to have the fan base going, Zappe. You know it. Like, they can't help themselves.
No.
They need the Tom Brady legend. They need the miraculous underdog. The
Cinderella story.
Cinderella story
out of nowhere.
So they're going to make it. They're going to create it. We've already seen it.
Hey, so brother Ray, is giving away Amari Cooper for Hunt and Sutton good in the long term? Would be on my bench mostly. I'd say long term, no.
I mean, right now, Denver is an absolute. I mean, it's a dumpster fire right now. Yeah. So if Sutton's going to be on your bench, but you're giving away a starter, I'm assuming Amari's a starter. If Amari is starting for you and you're going to give him away for Hunt, I mean, the thing with Hunt is, I mean, that team it's Nick Chubb. It's Chubb.
Long term, though. This is long term.
Does that mean keeper league? Does that mean this season?
Yeah, I'm hoping he means. I think Dr. Nobody. Hopefully you mean dynasty league, because if it's a regular season league, this doesn't make sense.
I would say no, though. Amari Cooper's going to have Deshaun Watson thrown at him pretty soon and for the near future. To me, that makes him more valuable than Sutton.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I don't know. I think long term, I have a hard time with that as far as Ray, Deshaun Watson was just hit with another 30 cases. This is breaking news. 30 more back rubs. I do not think he will be back this year. God damn the breaking news we get. That's awful. Allegedly, and not true at all. Moving on, Ray, to the next game. The Jets and the Packers. A lot of us here seem to think and know the Jets were going to be good and beat up the Packers. Those people happen to be Ray, me and you, not the other two. Jimmy, again, I don't know why we're bringing back cousin Jimmy now that we mention it, because Jimmy the Gem, everyone he's on the losing end so far. So you got to shine that gem up. Shine that gem up. Ray, what do you think? Why did the Jets? What's going on with the Jets? Like, let's just drop it there. Never mind the Packers. I think the Packers have a quarterback that has no connection to anybody on his team or his receivers, right? Yeah, I don't even know if he talks to them. He does, but I don't think he does, right? So they're in a complete mess. It's like, and their coach deserves it. But then you get the Jets, who are playing like one of those hungry teams that, I don't know. You don't know how far they can go. Like, what are your thoughts about the Jets?
They run the ball well, and they have a great defense. And that's all you need, really. I mean, to stay close in games. And when you're playing a bad team like Green Bay, and they are a bad team, their defense can't stop anybody. Their offensive line can't block anybody. They could not run the ball on the Jets. I mean, they were useless. I mean, two of the best backs in the league, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, were useless against the Jets. So they're sticking to the basics. They're playing smash mouth football. And Green Bay is a very bad team right now.
Mm-hmm. Without Devontae Parker, I feel like Aaron Rodgers just has nobody to throw to. He just has no steady security blanket. It's a completely different team.
Yeah, no, Romeo Doubs, you got him in there. I mean, they are going to get Watkins back, but Watkins is washed. Let's be honest. Cobb is hurt. You know, they have problems. They have real problems right now.
I brought the coffee maker downstairs at the bar, which has been a godsend. So I'm sorry, I had to break away for the heat up my coffee. Listen, so the Giants disrupted the Packers by having Dexter Lawrence penetrate through the middle. The Jets had that guy Quinnen, what's his name?
Oh, from Alabama.
Their big tackle do the same thing, Ray. He kept coming up the middle on the Packers offensive line, and Rodgers didn't like it. Like certain quarterbacks, and we know this, the Bradys, the Rodgers, if you put pressure up the middle, that's where they don't want it the most, right? They want to step into a pocket and, you know, the whole. So the Jets just beat him up that way. And again, Breezy is a phenomenal running back. And if the paper boy can start to figure out how to connect to these weapons that they actually have there, like, you know what I mean? It's going to completely turn around. Like, the Jets are going to be a good team. I can't believe we're saying that, or I'm saying that, but I think they are.
They are. Right now, they're a good team.
All right. Next game on our list, good for me, happened to be the Ravens at the Giants. So everybody took the Giants but Matt. Now, was that Matt's way of, like, brother Jesse taking the Eagles as his favorite team? Like, in other words, did Matt just pick the Ravens to go against me on that game? Because the Giants, I mean, think about it. Why would he pick the Ravens? Why was Matt so positive about the Ravens when all three of us were like, no, the Giants are going to win this outright? The Giants have won, what, 3 or 4 in a row as underdogs? I'm on the money line. Like, Ray, what I saw in this game is this. Let me tell you just what I saw as a Giants fan. I saw Saquon Barkley running like the best running back in the league, or in the conversation. He's first in total yardage, second by like 40 yards to Chubb in rushing yards. Then I saw Evan Neal who has improved so dramatically, right, on the right tackle, and then Andrew Thomas, who's actually still ranked as the number 1 left tackle in the NFL. Breederson, one of the guards, graded out as the top guard of the week. So the offensive line gave Daniel Jones time to step into a pocket, and whenever he made a clean throw, completion. And then he could run and scramble and get us yards. So now the beginning of the game is always ugly with the Giants. It's how it's always been as a Giants fan. Like, so I don't even worry about that. That's how I expect it. People keep talking about Daniel Jones is not going to be there next year. He's not the solution. But let me ask you this. What more do you want him to do than to have game-winning drives at the end of every game and make you win the game and go to 5-1? Like, Giants fans were like, oh, he only had 200 yards and 2 TDs. He's just not flashy. And it's like, do you guys remember Eli? Like, what fan base am I talking to? Matter of fact, do you remember Hostetler? Do you remember Phil Simms? Were any of those guys flashy? Flashy? No. So what are you talking about? And they were never like super numbers. Giants fans, like, I don't know what we expect as a quarterback. You're 5-1. Shut up. Like, this kid, Ray, your thoughts on the kid? You think he stays?
If it's me, he stays. He's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league right now. His efficiency is top 5. Yep. So I don't know what Giant fans are looking at. And he averages 43 yards a game running the football.
Yep.
So even from a fantasy perspective, you can see where that's going to translate. And guys, I remember Josh Allen when he came in with the Bills. He could not hit the broadside of a barn with a football. He couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't hit anything. He was so inaccurate. That changed, guys. I don't know. Like I'm fine with Daniel Jones.
Buddy, what do you think? Like, I'm being serious. Like, I Giants fans are so like they're just so negative. You get negative so fast, and it's just like, what are you talking about?
Well, being a Dolphins fan, I understand the negativity, the doubt. The Giants look good. They're 5-1. People on ESPN and Sports Talk Radio have been doubting them because they're not like you say, they're not flashy. They're not this flashy team. They're just like playing rough football. They're not like blowing out their competition. But
that defense is shutting people out at times.
But Baltimore is a decently. I mean, they get their ass kicked a few times this year. But I mean, Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback. They've beaten good opponents. So I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think they have a place in the NFC East this year, more so than they have.
I think you just
touched on it. That Barkley stays healthy. I mean, he looks great. Good for you, Mike. Good for you.
But you just touched on it. It's the NFC East, isn't it? Like, yeah. The only other teams right in the whole NFC that I think are competition right now for the Giants are the Eagles and Cowboys.
Oh, fuck the
Cowboys. I don't like the Vikings. I honestly think the style of football that's being played by the Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys, and I've been saying this for a while, how the NFC was going to change because they were all building up young, crazy rosters. Mm-hmm. I don't know why the Commanders. Well, I know why the Commanders haven't come along. Yeah, but anyways, all three of those teams are dangerous because of the way they play and the way that if you can control the ball by running it with your quarterback and Saquon Barkley, and your defense is playing the way that it's playing, you can be in the game with anyone.
And your coach is
and the NFC's
awesome
not that
too.
good. Yeah,
right. I mean, your coach is really awesome too.
So unbelievable.
Good.
So Ray,
that's nice.
Jump to the next game. The only one who got it right was Matt. We all took the Vikings on this one, but the Dolphins. So tell me about what happened in this game, and then tell me what you thought when you read when Tua said that he was not completely out. And
I mean, I had Minnesota in this game. I knew Minnesota was going to win this game, and they blew it away. They pulled away.
Oh, that's right. We won. My bad. I'm sorry. We won. We all had Minnesota. I wrote
they pulled away when Cookie had that 50-yard touchdown. I mean, it was close, and I give Miami credit without having Tua, but their defense played a great game. Their defense played an exceptional game, but you can't commit 10 penalties for over 100 yards. They actually committed 4 on one drive. 4 penalties on one drive. They're on the 3. They ended up on the 4 on almost on the 50-yard line.
Oh.
They didn't score any points, and they had 2 turnovers. So that's the story of that game. It was really a close game. The score really doesn't indicate how close that game was, but Minnesota broke that one long run And they just
Yep.
couldn't get anything done offensively. Their defense played great.
No, so here's the thing. That's why I was wrong. I apologize. We all took the Vikings, but Matt, who stayed with the Dolphins, because apparently that's his team now. I hear the Vikings,
What the fuck?
Ray, are 5-1, but I'm not scared of them.
No,
No.
not at all.
So, because I'm listening to Michael Irvin talk about how out of the 2 5-1 teams, the Giants and the Vikings, because for some reason those people on ESPN, they just want to talk about the Giants, right, all the time. They just bring the Giants up all the time because you're going to get people to watch because they're a popular team in that area. But they're always comparing us, and he's talking about which team is more scary, the 5-1 Vikings, or the 5-1 Giants. He's like, oh, 5-1 Vikings. It's like, shut up. Of course you're going to pick that Michael Irvin. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. He's so negative. I digress. Ray, I can't stand watching Troy Aikman do a Giants game or Tom Rathman. Because, Ray, you know what they do. Aikman starts off the game like this. All right, here comes Daniel Jones out to play the game. You know what? Daniel Jones has really struggled and is in a contract here where he might end up on a different team this year. And then Joe Buck goes, and here's the snap. You know what I mean? It's like, Troy, why? Why, Troy? Why? You know what I mean? Shut up, Troy. Why? All right. Ray, how's Tua going to do this week? That's what I want to know.
Tua's going to be fine. I mean, he's been cleared for a while. He's been practicing for a while. He's fine. Everything is clear. All the scans are clear. I mean, he took a couple of extra weeks so everybody would be okay and happy. And all these concerned people that were so concerned for his health would be happy, especially in Buffalo. So many concerned fans in Buffalo. It's amazing. But he's going to be fine this week. He'll be right back in the saddle. Again, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league this year. And I think they're going to be ready to go.
So, all right. Here's the question that I have about that. One, does he come out with that extra big helmet? Remember they gave it for the guy from the Bills, right? The little guy from the Bills. The
wide receiver, Beebe, the Don Beebe.
Yeah, the special teamer, right? Was that him? He had that extra helmet. That's one. Two, I don't wish this, but two, I have to ask this question because it has to be asked. To avoid it would be wrong.
Don't say it.
If he gets a head injury of any kind, and here's what's weird. Say he just gets hit in the head and they see it, but he doesn't show really any signs of whatever. I think they yank him.
Right.
I think any blow to the head and he's out.
Right.
Guys, this is football. It's
right.
football.
Okay.
I mean, the thing he said this week was, and I thought it was interesting, he said he's done a lot of studying on concussions, and quarterbacks are not as susceptible to CTE because of the position they play. CTE usually comes from on every down where you're constantly making contact. That's offensive linemen. That's defensive linemen. Every play, offensive linemen and defensive linemen are making head contact every snap. Quarterbacks they're not under that same pressure, but yeah, there'll be people out there going, oh my God, did someone touch his helmet? Take him out. Where's the spotter? Take him out.
Point. I think that's a reality for sure. I think they'll do that. But correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the NFL's investigation find that he actually landed on his back first and then hit his head? So there's no real head injury. It was his back injury. Yeah,
it was his back.
So I'm no longer even trying to guess on all that stuff. But what I'm saying,
a history of bad back. I mean,
as a reaction of the NFL and the way that they are prone to overreact, the Dolphins have to feel that pressure of, if he's on TV and you see him get a shot to the head, that even just rings his bell for a second, they're going to have to pull him out. They're going to feel too much pressure.
For sure.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not hoping that. I'm just saying, like, this is going to be such a friggingly scrutinized game in that dumb way where they're going to be just watching him getting headshots. That's how bad this will be. Like, because they got nothing else better to do. And this has become such a big story.
I think so, too, yeah.
I think that's what ends up happening.
He needs to get rid of the ball.
The first game will be good, but
he needs to get rid of the ball. I'm going to say this right now. He needs to get rid of the ball. And he needs to do a better job of that for sure. Because we wouldn't be having these conversations if he got rid of the ball before that guy demolished him. I mean, he does need to get rid of the ball early. There's no doubt about it, or he won't last. He won't.
See, the thing is, too, same can be said for Daniel sometimes because Daniel gets hit all the time.
Yeah.
But Daniel gets hit in a different way. He does because he's a bigger guy. And I keep saying that. He gets hit because he's a bigger guy. Plus, Tua seems to like kind of tense when he gets hit. Like hold on to the ball.
He's
You
too
know what I mean?
relaxed, actually. He's too relaxed.
Oh, see, I think Daniel. That's what I think's wrong with Daniel.
Pressure. He's
Yes,
like,
I think, yeah.
and
But see, with Daniel Jones, sometimes I see him stand there, and it's just like, do you not feel that guy about to kill you? And
Right.
it's just like crunch. And you're like, what the frick? How?
My beef
We're
about Tua-
terrified.
my beef about Tua is he said in an interview like about 4 weeks ago, if he can't see his receivers, he's not going to throw it to them because he's a shorter quarterback.
Yep.
At that point, you know the pocket's collapsing. Why he's got legs? Why doesn't he run? I don't get it.
No, I didn't like the admission.
take off?
I did not like his admission of his field vision because
Right.
when he says that, you know it's the same for Kyler Murray. You know it's the same for anybody that's around that size. They must have an issue of seeing at that next level sometimes.
Right.
You know, because of the height. The linemen are monsters. Your offensive linemen stand up and they're all like, you know what I mean, giants.
They're
But
giants,
I think Tua, because of the way he can move, bop, 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 I think that allows him to, you know, plus he's been doing this his whole career. He knows how to look around things and know where guys are going to be. You know what I mean? And plus, you're right.
Yeah,
I feel like Ray, I keep on him, but if he did not have those head injuries, I would back Buddy right now and say he should be running more. He should be running more. He's so dangerous when he runs. Like just quick runs where he gets down. Teach him to slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thoughts?
he needs better pocket awareness. If he can develop that, and it needs to be more urgency. If he can get that, I think he'll be fine. Like you said, he is elusive when he wants to be, when he wants to take off, and he does keep his head looking downfield. So, you know, he goes to his second, third read. That's all good, but he does not sense the pressure from the backside. Not at all. And I love Tua, but let's be honest, he does not sense that pressure. And I don't care if you're 6'7", 320-pound quarterback, you are not going to last long in this league if you can't sense that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, I agree. All right. The last 1 o'clock game, just to get it over with, was the 49ers at the Falcons. Now, Ray, you're the only one who went with the 49ers. And the thing was, I was shocked by that because you've been riding with me on the Falcons for like weeks now. Like they keep covering spreads. Me and you keep saying every week, look, the Falcons just keep covering the spread. And then here you go with a 4-point spread against the 49ers. The Falcons are at home. You took the 49ers. That didn't. What threw you off? Like what made you go, I got to go against the Falcons this week?
Because Shanahan fooled me again. Shanahan does it every year. He fooled me again. They look competent. They look dominant. Their defense, you know, has been playing lights out. And typical Shanahan, lays another egg. And you know what? Like, when are the Shanahans and the Cliff Kingsburys, when are these guys going to get fired? I mean, I'm being honest. Like, come on. Like, you going into Atlanta, are you kidding me? Like, that's a game that you have to win. You have to win that game.
Did you know before the game, Cliff Kingsbury got a phone call from what was the old offensive coordinator for then he became a head coach for a long time, and he just stayed in the league, and he just lost his name for the Redskins, Ray.
Joe Gibbs?
No, the offensive coordinator guy that became a head coach. He was just never good, but he was always in the league. He was always somebody's offensive coordinator.
Norv Turner?
Norv Turner called him up and said, how the frig are you still in the league? Because Norv Turner was in the league. That was something. Don't tell me Norv Turner doesn't have videotape footage of somebody doing something, because he just kept getting jobs, fired for how bad he was, and then getting like big jobs and always in the talk about the next head coaching spot. Am I right?
I have a great Norv Turner story.
All right, go ahead.
Norv Turner story.
Please.
Norv Turner is sitting with one of my good friends, Mike Turner. His friend is at the blackjack table, and Norv Turner sits down, doesn't say anything to anybody, sits down, starts playing blackjack. Now, everyone's like, "That's Norv Turner." Oh my god! So Norv Turner, they're dealing. Norv Turner, there's there's a 10 showing with the dealer. Norv Turner gets a 15.
Wow.
And Norv Turner decides to sit on it.
Whoa.
And the friend actually called him the P word.
Yep.
It ends with Y.
Yep.
Right to his face at the table.
Right.
And Norv Turner sat there, didn't say a word, didn't look at him, and just kept playing and doing like crazy things that you shouldn't do.
Do you know how much that tells about Norv Turner? That, listen, here's how I was taught blackjack. It's plain and simple, right? Plain and simple. I was told by a blackjack master who said it like this. You play to beat the card that you're seeing. You assume the other card's a 10. That's it. That's how you play. You get up to 17, and then you stop. Hard 17. If you have a 15 and he has a 10 showing, guess what?
You
ballless bastard, you hit, and you hope for a 6 or under. But Norv Turner wouldn't do that, which explains so much.
And the whole table wanted to kill him. The whole table, because he ruined the whole table. When you do something like that, you ruin the whole table. Like, I walk away, grab my chips and run.
No, yeah, that's like, dude, come on, man. Like, come on, we're playing a game here. You know what I mean? What are you sitting on 15? All right, 4 o'clock games. Let's see what we did. We had the Panthers versus said Rams. The whatchamacallit, the spread was 10, which appeared to be enough, we would have thought. But then when it shook out, Ray, what was the final score? I'm trying to find, because I know it was a
24-10.
Yeah, right. 14-point difference. Now, the only one who had that correct was actually cousin Jimmy, Jimmy the Gem. But
I had the Rams.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
I have you with the Panthers, brother, Ray. Mm-hmm. We'd have to go back and check the tape because it was minus 10.
I got the circled right here.
All right, I'll give you that one. All right, so then the Panthers are just that bad. Are they getting worse? Is that what this is going on? Because the Rams don't look like they're getting better.
Yeah, Rams aren't a good football team right now. I don't think that's any secret. Even their defense is challenged right now. Carolina was close. I mean, that game was close for a while. But Carolina really doesn't have anything. They're in fire sale mode. They're shopping McCaffrey. They're shopping DJ Moore. They already flipped Anderson, to the Cardinals. So they're in recovery. I mean, they're in complete fire sale mode. Darnold's coming back for them, so maybe they'll try him out there, see what he can do. But PJ Walker, he's not a legitimate quarterback. He should not be starting for any National Football League team. I mean, right now they have problems, and I like Steve Wilkes. I think Steve Wilkes is a decent enough coach, but it's really bad.
Quick comment, Smoky Sports Cards. If you would hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment, I know this sounds silly. If you just leave a comment in the thing with the like and subscribe button, it'll put us and help us with our rotation. We appreciate it. Ray, here's what I got to say about that one. The scariest thing that I heard was the Bills contacting Carolina with talks about Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
Ray, if that happens, that's almost like Vince Carter at the end of the dunk contest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you stopping that offense if CMC gets to play with those guys?
Hit him in the knees.
He would be deadly, but what I'm hearing, you got to give up multiple first round picks. Are the Bills willing to do that? We'll see.
That's never gonna happen. No, because they don't value running backs anymore.
No.
So for the record, nobody is thank you, off-brand fall guy. Nobody screw them. I don't want to talk about them. You know what? I hate the Panthers. I'm so glad that Matt Rule went the way he did. He turned down the Giants, and then he ended up going where he went. And he was a horrible coach. And like when your decision is to sign Sam Darnold as the answer,
oh,
like I don't have to tell you you're bad. You know what I mean? I don't. So, all right, Ray, Cardinals, Seahawks. Seahawks, we're getting 2. We all went with the Seahawks +2. I just knew they were going to beat the Cardinals outright. I knew this one. Like, I don't like the Cardinals. Just don't like them. And that's really what I got to say about that. Ray, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean the Cardinals are hurting right now. No James Conner, Benjamin. I mean, who was okay, but they don't scare anybody right now. We'll see what happens back. But if Brown was playing, then you'd say, all right, they have their full complement. But let's be honest, Murray is not playing well. I mean, no touchdowns. He did run for 100 yards, but their defense, I thought, played well enough to win Arizona. But I mean, give Seattle credit. They just got it out, and Geno didn't have a great game, but I thought for sure Geno wasn't having a good game. They're done, but you got to give them credit so far, Seattle. And I thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league, and I was wrong.
I tell you what, dude, the Giants got the Jaguars, then the Seahawks on their schedule next. And it's of my opinion that we're going to smash both of those teams. I think they're both horrible teams. I do. I think we're going to smash them. I don't like the Seahawks. I don't think they're a good team. Because I hate Geno Smith.
Winning.
That's why. That's
winning,
why.
Though they win some of these games.
I know, but you know that is DeMarcus with Kyler Murray can't throw the ball. DeMarcus, make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a comment, get your rotation. I hate Geno Smith for one reason only. He broke Eli Manning's streak of starts. Geno Smith. All right, Ray, Bills, Chiefs. That was the big game everybody wanted to watch. That was the big game everybody was ready for. Me and you said take the Bills -2.5. Ray, tell me why we're right again.
I mean, the Bills, they were kind of waiting, and I said it in the analysis. They've been preparing all season for that game. It was kind of like the Dolphins and the Bills. The Dolphins have been preparing all season for that game and looking forward to it. And the Bills, the same thing. You could see in the approach. It was a great game, but you got to give the Bills credit. That defense playing great. And I'll tell you who really impressed me, and that's Devin Singletary. Every week we're looking at, all right, well, Moss is going to take these carries from him. Oh, no, here comes Cook. Cook is going to win this job. And all he does is run the rock. And 5 yards a carry. This McCaffrey stuff, why would you want McCaffrey when you have Devin Singletary and you're on a roll?
Yeah, I agree with that. Here's why I think, though, we won betting-wise. Ray, 2.5. That's less than a field goal. Like, I'm with the Bills. That's what immediately put me with the Bills it was less than 3 points. I mean, it ended up being a 4-point game. But the fact that it was under 3, I was like, oh, yeah, I love that. If it would have been like 3.5, I might have been like a little nervous. And I'm being serious. I think the spread really swayed me in that one. And you got to sometimes follow the spread and just pay attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we knew, like, going in, one of my big things with that was the Bills are very good against tight ends that they play. So that, Kelsey, Kelsey doesn't have 4 touchdowns the week before that. The Kansas City doesn't win that football game.
You're right. Greg, hit the like button, subscribe, and
Thanks,
leave a
Greg.
comment in the thing. Because again, we're trying to figure out this whole algorithm. I'm gonna keep saying the word algorithm. Guys, we went to the 8:00 game. Now, as the NFC East whisperer, I said, look, I hate picking the Eagles for anything. But the Eagles will win by more than 6.5. And the only one who disagreed with me was Matt, which is not a shocker for last week. But as the NFC East whisperer that I am, I knew that the Eagles were better, at least a touchdown better than the Cowboys. Now, this game could have went different ways, and maybe I could have ended up wrong, but it didn't. So, Ray, I ask you, Dak comes back. Does that make a difference with these Cowboys, or do I get the feeling they'll slowly slip below the Giants and Eagles, have a great defense, but for some reason that offense is going to be,
Rush has played well. He hasn't been entirely bad, but Prescott's obviously better, so they have to get a lift with him coming back. But Philly is they're probably one of the most solid teams in the league right now
Yeah.
because they are not weak in any phase. They can run, they can pass. Their defense, I think, is one of the best, probably top 3 in the league right now. They had a number of picks and they took advantage of the situation against Rush. But you have to like Philly right now. I think they're one of the best teams in the league right now, and it's not all on Hurts' shoulders. They're able to run the ball. They're able to win with defense.
Matthew Page has said the Giants will slow down. What do you all think? All right, I can address that one. And I'm going to also address Jalen Hurts. The one thing that Jalen Hurts is going to have a hard time with is exotic blitzes and things that he hasn't seen. That's where I think our only chance is going to be with him as a Giants team on defense. Okay. Now, do I think the Giants will slow down? Well, all right. It says they have to, right? Like, in other words, life and the NFL says they have to. But do you mean by slowing down not be like 16-1? Or do you mean by slowing down where they end up with like 11 wins? Because I got to be honest, over the next 4 or 5 games, the Giants go, what, off the top of my head, it's literally like the Jaguars, the Seahawks, the Texans, the Commanders. Like, yeah, they're going to slow down, but watch the Giants at least be one of the NFC East wildcard teams. If they don't take the division from Philly or Dallas, you could get 3 teams in the playoffs from the NFC East. The NFC stinks. They're trying to tell me Minnesota's the big dog. No, they're not. So who is in the NFC? There isn't anybody but the 3 teams in the NFC East. So by slow down, yeah, they can't keep this pace. But are they going to make the playoffs this year? They got a damn good chance, and I think they're going to. I think all 3 of those teams make the playoffs. Ray, what do you think on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think their schedule is pretty good the rest of the way. The Giants, I mean, obviously they're going to lose some games. I mean, they're first year coach, new system. There's going to be growing pains. I mean, they're going to have it. You've seen it in games already. The first couple of games, I thought they looked horrible, but they made improvements, and I think they know what they do well, and they're going to try and keep it simple. Eventually, they're going to get beat by the elite teams in the league. But I'll tell you what. Baltimore is not a bad football team. They almost beat the Bills. They played some good teams really tough, and that was a big win for the Giants.
Will, we keep mentioning the Eagles. We think right now they're probably the best team in the NFC. However, like I have to add this. Will, please hit the like, subscribe button, and leave a comment before I say this. I hate the Eagles. Hate them. I hate them. That's why last week, when I picked the Eagles to win by 6.5, you have to be ridiculously stupid to not agree with me or think that I know something, because I'm not picking the Eagles.
Did you die inside a little bit? A little bit?
That's my point. Usually every week I pick against them and I take that as a loss. I don't even care. I don't count that. It's like my Eagle percentage. Like, damage control. You buy stuff, Ray. Some sort of shit gets damaged. So you account for that. That's my Eagle pick. But I could not pick them against. I had to pick them against the Cowboys because I knew they would win. All right. Monday night, we got to see an awful game, an awful, horrible game. I had a friend of mine text me about what I liked in that game, and unfortunately, I had the Chargers at 4.5. But what I did tell him was, and I can show you this, what I really like, I said to him, is under 45.5. I said, the Broncos are one of the worst teams I've ever seen. This is not going to be a high-scoring game. Like, people thought it was going to be a shootout, and I'm like, no, these teams are just not very good. And you know what? I was right about that part, at least. Like, they didn't cover the spread, the Chargers, but goddamn, it was under 45.5, and those teams were boring. Right? If
I play defense for the Denver Broncos right now, I probably would have walked over and fist fought Russell Wilson. At many points in that game, I think I would have went over there and tried to fist fight Russell Wilson. $260 million. And the best thing is there's a thread on Twitter where it's basically a countdown. They're trying to wait and see when Russell Wilson throws more touchdowns than bathrooms he has in his house. It's one of the best threads on Twitter. Russell Wilson has 12 bathrooms in his brand new home. And for the season, he has 6 touchdowns.
Let me tell you something. If you go further than 4 bathrooms, you have a problem.
Right.
And I can explain this. Now, you can have the girls' bathroom. You know what I mean? You could have the guest bathroom, right? If you have like a son or somebody who thinks he wants to go get all dressed up and duked up, needs mirrors, you can have that getting ready bathroom. And then you have the regular bathroom. That's it. That's all you would need. Now, see, buddy, what you don't get is growing up, Brother Ray and I, our dad was one of the most progressive people that I've ever known. He was so far ahead of everybody else. We had a unisex bathroom growing up.
Wow.
Growing up, we had a bathroom. My dad was so progressive that he was thinking ahead of the times. Right. It was a unisex bathroom.
It was every person for themselves. It was Lord of the Flies, basically, for the bathroom.
Wait a minute. Is Russell Wilson, James, please hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment just for the algorithm. Please stop making me say that word. Is Russell Wilson in a similar situation to Peyton Manning? I don't know what you mean by that because I don't think so. Well, all right, look. Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. When he came back, he had a bad neck. So if that's what you mean, like he was not quite the arm he had and he was trying to figure out his way through it. Russ has a bad shoulder. If that's what you're saying, that's the only way I can think of that you can compare these two guys. Because other than that, other than being on the Broncos, I guess, yeah, they're in that situation. But Ray, you know what I mean? Like
it's a combination of things. I think with Denver right now, Hackett is completely over his head. Completely over his head. His system is not translating to the league at any position. His wide receivers look lost. Judy, Sutton, you name
and
it.
they're good. And they're good.
And they're good. Like they're quality, good players. I mean, and Russell Wilson, we've seen him before, but in this like West Coast offense where he's going to make quick reads, it's not him. He needs to sit back in the pocket, scan the field, look for that deeper ball. He's not doing it in this offense, and he's just not in sync. And right now, it's a complete dumpster fire.
And this is why you also can't compare it, buddy. Do you think Russell Wilson signing that contract and going to Denver is getting the respect from the players that Peyton Manning got when he walked into the locker room?
Not at all. Not at all. Peyton Manning brought championships. He brought legacy. This guy brings that, but I mean, he's trash. He's terrible.
Right. You know what I'm saying, though? Like the difference.
But Peyton brought his offense with him.
Yep.
Right.
You forget that. Peyton, just like Brady when he went to Tampa, brought elements of they were smart. What do I do well? What have I been working in all these years? What have I been successful at? Peyton brought it with him. You know, Gase really had to adapt a lot of his concepts and made those his own. That's how he got a head job. That isn't the case with Hackett. This is Hackett's system, and Russell Wilson is having to adapt. And right now, we've all seen that the experiment is not working.
They got great receivers. I can't hear them complain about that. Like as Giants fan, you're looking at it going, "Come on, Richie James, David Sills, like shut up." You know what I mean? All right, Ray. Tonight's game, and buddy, we have two teams that I don't want to watch, but they're on tonight. The Saints are playing the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are favored by 2.5 at home, with an over/under of 44. Ray, I am going to say this about this game. Kyler Murray will play better on a Thursday night than he does on Sundays. He will. On a Thursday night game, that kid who's usually up playing Call of Duty will be more into this game, and it will fit his whole lifestyle. So I expect him to have a decent game. And they're getting back, if I'm correct, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins is back, correct.
So I'm going to just say I like Arizona by at least a field goal. It's 2.5. So you take Arizona at home minus the 3. My opinion. Ray.
What's weird is Vegas right now is really heavily on New Orleans. They're really throwing money on the Saints right now. I love Arizona in this game. I really do. I think Kyler wakes up. I think you're right. I think this is the night that he's going to pop. I think they make it work at home. They really don't have a home field advantage, though, Arizona. That's the only thing that scares me. The record really isn't – it's not that special at home. So,
but national TV will make him,
But I do think he'll be up. He'll be ready. The Saints have a lot of problems. Olave is going to play. He's a great start tonight. If you have him in fantasy leagues, he's going to get the ball a lot. Andy Dalton starting for the Saints, I don't understand it. It makes me like the Cardinals even more. They're going to put a lot of pressure on him tonight because that's the one thing they're good at, Arizona, is getting heat on the quarterback. They were all over Geno last week. So I like Arizona giving it 2.5, but I'm going to go with the under in this.
Okay, here's why I get scared about the under before we switch to Buddy. The reason I fear the under is that the Red Rocket will just continue to throw interceptions and bombs until the game's over. So I worry that because of the fact he's going to throw 3 interceptions, maybe 2 touchdowns, the Saints end up with 20 points. The Cardinals are going to go and drop like 28, something like that. Next thing you know, you're over 44.5. So the only thing I'm going to disagree with you on is this. I like the Arizona covering 2.5, but because it's 44, I think it's going to go slightly over. I think. I do. I don't know. Because the Red Rocket, right? When I saw him come across the screen last week when I was watching stats, I thought like I had the TV on, the DVR on wrong. Like, I'm like, am I watching an old game? Did I just see Andy Dalton throw a pass? Like, what the hell is going on? I didn't even know he's in the league still. So all I know is about that redheaded ginger. No offense to the gingers, buddy, even though there is offense taken. Is that he's just going to keep flinging that ball. So go with
a prime game, though. I mean, it's the curse of the prime game. These games are going to be like 10-8. Like, imagine like subscribing to Prime because you wanted to watch Thursday night NFL football. And the last 3 weeks, what have you had to watch on Thursday night? I tried to watch that game last week. My son and I, we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. I had to change the channel. I couldn't watch it.
I'm not sitting down for no Saints Cardinals. I'll catch that on the back end. I don't know about you guys. That's not what I play. Buddy, who do you like?
I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I think Hopkins is going to make the difference, and Kyler Murray hopefully comes to life, and it's only against the Saints. So it's not like they're playing anybody really great. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
What about the over under there, bud?
I'm gonna go under, Mike.
All right, you guys don't see them scoring, Ray. You don't see them scoring some cheap touchdowns with the Red Rocket, huh?
It's a prime game. It might be 6-3.
So
maybe the Saints get 17 points.
What we are telling everybody is this: go with the Cardinals minus 2.5 tonight. We're all in agreement. That's a lock. Kyler Murray, will play well on a Thursday night because he didn't stay up, playing video games. This is when he's usually up to play video games. So he's going to be running around playing video games, throwing touchdowns to DeAndre Hopkins and people. We all like the Cardinals. Go put your money on the Cardinals. You can thank us Sunday morning at 11:05 for our next show. When you win tonight, feel free to thank us because we'd appreciate that. We've made people a lot of money. I actually know a couple of people last week that told me they made money off like our picks. That's why I felt bad when I tried to help them out with the Monday night one and I got the under right, but the spread was off. Let's see. What else we got to say? Buddy, what do you want to say before we wrap up?
Oh, well, let's see. Sunday evening, we can tune in live at 7:05. I'll have a new beer. It will be a Rhode Island beer because we're hosting a Rhode Island guest, a Block Island guest. Nice. Rick Lyzik of Block Island Ghost Tours will be on the show. He'll be talking Ghosts of Block Island. I have plenty of examples of Ghosts of Block Island. He has plenty of examples. Mike will have plenty to say, I'm sure. Tune in Sunday live for Rick Lyzik from Block Island Ghost Tours.
I'm looking forward to that. And Brother Ray, if you've noticed, we've had different people from different areas asking us questions on this show. It is because I have just slightly begun to open floodgates, meaning I've just slowly started to let us open to everyone. So here's my hope. I don't care how many people we get to come along for this ride.
Floodgates.
All I ask is that they all hit those 3 stupid things: like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I hope that they make money. And at the end of the year, I want to know, as I'm holding up the championship belt for the second time, I want to know how much
It's not
money.
gonna happen, dude.
I want to know how much money we made
You're
for
like
everyone.
freaking 8th in the league. You got like 2 wins.
Look where I was last year at the exact same week.
Nice.
I made it as a low seed into the playoffs, and then I did what champions do. You know what that is, buddy? Because you probably don't, because you're not a champ. They win.
Right.
Yeah, they win.
Bullshit, Mike.
All right. Hey, guys, please get your picks in for the Cardinals -2.5. If you have any fantasy football questions or betting questions, Sunday morning, 11:05, we go live. Let me tell you something. Brother Ray made 3 names, and I said one guy that you had to go with, and they all produced in fantasy. Did they not, Brother Ray?
Yeah, they did. We had a pretty good week last week. Tonight, just to build on to that, I really like Rondale Moore. I think he's going to be a sneaky play tonight. He's going to be the number 2 guy with Hollywood out. As far as the Saints, I really like Jawan James at tight end. Troutman is hurt, and I think he's going to get the ball a lot tonight. He's a sneaky play. And the Cardinals defense, if you're in a weekly fantasy league, they are a pretty good streaming pick. They should feast on Andy Dalton tonight at home.
Yeah. My throw was Wan'Dale Robinson, and I mean, no, he's going to be the best receiver on the Giants team, right? And here's why: the other guys can't run routes. Like, Tony can't run route. He's not a route runner. He's just not, right? Neither is Galladay. Slayton is, but he can't catch, right? Wan'Dale is the only one who can run routes, catch, and he's super fast. Therefore, by proxy of they stink, Wan'Dale is the best out of the group.
He already is, yep.
And I told you guys to take Pittsburgh outright. I remember saying that at the very, very end of the thing. So, guys, if you would have Pittsburgh and the Giants outright as a combo, man, you would have made money. So, I hope you listen to us for Buddy Money. There, for Brother Ray, for Mr. Never Been Here, Matt M1. It's me, Mike Leopard King, Mike L. This was Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. We'll see you again on Sunday morning, 11:05. Be there with your questions. We will answer them. It all begins and ends